Have you ever done something and been like, oh my gosh, I'm like my mother, or oh my God, I'm like my father? Or on the flip side, have you ever done something and been so angry or mad with yourself and saying, I promised myself I wouldn't do this, I promised myself I wouldn't be like my dad, I promised myself I wouldn't be like my mom? It's okay. You're not crazy. You're not broken. You're not weak. You're not incomplete. And you're definitely not alone, because it happens to a lot of people. It happens to a lot of us, whether positively or negatively. We realize that there are a lot of patterns in our parents that we start to see in ourselves. Patterns that were passed down to us by generations and generations of people. Today we're talking about breaking negative family cycles. Those emotional habits, those communication styles, the control or the feeling to be in control that a lot of our parents have, the silence, the anger, the fear, whatever you're trying to break, and more importantly, how to stop them from continuing through you. And today we'll be starting a new series on healing. So this will be the first video in that series. The series is going to be 2 to 3 months long. I have a whole list of topics that I think are very, very vital to talk about when it comes to healing, because there are various experiences and there are various parts of ourselves that needs healing, and we've all had different experiences. So yes, I'm trying to make sure that we touch potential experiences, like general experiences that most people go through, at least that I can recognize as a person, because awareness is powerful and change is possible. At the end of this video, we should be able to define and identify what negative family cycle actually is, and name the negative family cycle that affects your own family, understand why sometimes these cycles feel very hard to break, and also learn how to start breaking that cycle. So I know a lot of people talk about negative family cycles. So what exactly is negative family cycles? So family cycles on its own are patterns that are recognizable, that are passed down from one parent to the other. So from one parent to their child, and that child grows up to be a parent and passes those patterns down to their children. So if those patterns are negative patterns, then what has been formed there is a negative family cycle, which for a lot of us, these negative family cycles can look like emotional unavailability, explosive angers, toxic relationships, insults, physical abuse, substance abuse, financial instability, overall trauma, and even self-sabotage. But here's the very important thing to understand, that most of these cycles are actually coping mechanisms for our parents. They weren't something that they just woke up one morning and decide to hurt you or decide to start acting in that manner. And sometimes these cycles can seem very, very hard to break. Why? Why are negative cycles hard to break? In the course of making this video, I had to study some text, and one of the texts I studied listed guilt. And this is quite interesting, and that's why I decided to list it as my first reason, just in case so almost to clock out of this video. If you've gotten to this point, please like, subscribe, share to your friends, and leave a comment down below. I do realize that I'm talking a bit too slowly. You can watch the video in 2x speed so that you can get to the end faster. Please don't clock out. Thank you. So what does guilt have to do with the inability to break negative cycles or negative family cycles? A person might feel guilt in the verge of trying to break family cycles or trying to be better, trying to be something different than what they've seen. Then they may feel like, if I change, does that mean my family is wrong? If I heal, does that mean they failed? Breaking a cycle could feel like betrayal to your parents. I realized that that feeling of guilt kind of stems from love, but it's an unhealthy side of love, I think, because you should realize that your ability to grow, to change, to be better is something that your parents, your loved ones will always want for you. So it's born out of love, out of loyalty or false loyalty. It's just like humility and pseudo humility, something like that. So you can make the change without making the announcement. In most cases, they're not. A lot of our parents only treated us that way because that's what they knew. They actually even thought that if I don't train my child in this way, then I don't love my child. So it's kind of like the opposite for them. It was kind of like the opposite for them. So having the mind of guilt or loyalty doesn't really serve you in the long run, because you would keep being angry with yourself that you keep doing the things that you don't want to do because it hurts you and you don't want to hurt your kid. Guilt can keep you stuck. Another reason why it's really hard to break negative family cycles is because that is your normal. So it takes the Holy Spirit. The Holy Spirit, right? And a sprinkle of exposure for a person to begin to realize that, oh, this thing that my parents were doing isn't the normal thing, is wrong. For them to cane me for hours, that is not normal. When something is familiar, your nervous system accepts it, even if it's painful. And chaos can feel like home. Silence can feel better than communication. And love can often feel conditional if that is all you've known. The third reason why breaking family cycles can be very, very hard is because it's wired into you. Like it's literally intertwined with your DNA. So there is the nature and the nurture of it. And there has been some research about a set of twins that has lived in two different parts of the world with different parents in different communities, still acts quite the same. So there is that nature part of you that has been passed down from generations to generations. And for instance, Igbos, because I'm going to use Igbos because I'm Igbo, and there is this anger, I think, is in a lot of Igbo homes, even between siblings, that you see a lot of Igbo siblings, like our parents. You see our parents, a lot of them don't speak to their cousins, or they don't speak to their brothers, someone that you literally grew up with. Or you say this person is a witch, or that person is a wizard, and things like that. And genuinely, those people actually have negative thoughts and emotions towards your parents, and maybe even vice versa. So I consistently tell my siblings that, see, we're not fighting against flesh and blood, so that when somebody vexes you, just quickly forgive. Just quickly forgive the person and move on. You have to identify what is a family cycle in your own family. You have to identify it, and you have to make up your mind together with your siblings. You guys have to make up your mind to fight against a negative cycle, because you cannot do it alone. If you have siblings, you cannot do it alone. You have to make up your mind together to fight against that negative cycle. Breaking a cycle always begins with awareness. Awareness can be very uncomfortable because it forces you to look inwardly and honestly without excuses. But if you do it correctly, that is also the moment that your power returns to you. The power returns to you, because the questions you start to ask will be different, will be a bit different. You would stop asking, why am I like this? Or why do I act this way? You'll begin to ask, what happened that I respond this way? How did I get here? What can I do different? And that shift is everything. So how do we break these family cycles? Step 1, name the pattern. You've become aware of the pattern. You have identified the pattern. You have to name it. You have to give it a name. What exactly is the negative cycle that you want to break? So you have to ask yourself some questions like, what behaviors do I keep seeing in my family? What emotions do I not want to pass on to my kids? How was conflict, resolved? What did love look like? How do I want it to look like to my kids? So those hard questions, and you have to give yourself time to answer these questions as well. You have to be patient with yourself, and you have to be honest, and you also have to be very, very specific. It's not enough to just say my family was toxic. You have to identify what exactly you didn't like. So was there yelling? Was it the beating? Was it their physical abuse? Was there emotional abuse? You have to identify what exactly you don't or you didn't like in your family. Naming the pattern removes its power to continuously operate unconsciously. Step 2. Separate understanding from excusing. This part is crucial. You can understand your parent without excusing harm. You can acknowledge their traumas without hating on them, like without feeling hatred, and while still also holding your boundaries as to the things you can accept and the things you can't accept. Healing doesn't require hatred. It also doesn't require denial. Saying they did the best they could doesn't mean you have to accept their best as the best. Breaking the cycle is not about blame. It's about responsibility. So right now, it's about your responsibility to yourself and the one you owe your children and your generations after that as well. Step 3. Regulate before you react. Most cycles are seen in areas of emotional overwhelm. So when a person feels emotionally overwhelmed, so those are the moments you have to pause. Instead of asking yourself, how do I never mess up? You could ask yourself, how can I pause for a second? So to do this, we have to learn to breathe before we respond, to take space before exploding. And you also have to practice the art of sitting with discomfort for more than a second. Regulation is the bridge between awareness and change. You won't probably always get it right, but you have to acknowledge that progress is choosing differently more often than perfectly. Step 4, choose discomfort over familiarity. So choose anything that seems unfamiliar, that seems weird. Do the opposite of what you would normally do. Healing feels uncomfortable most times because it's unfamiliar. Healthy communication may feel awkward and boundaries may feel too harsh, but do them anyways. Step 5, become the person you needed. One of the most powerful ways to break cycles is to be the person you would have needed when you were younger. Speak to yourself with kindness. Validate your emotions. Be kind to yourself. Be gentle with yourself. Set boundaries. Rest if you're tired. It's like you healing your inner child. Repair relationships instead of pretending that nothing happened. That's how cycles end. Breaking negative family cycles is not easy. It's lonely, it's emotional, it's ongoing, but it's also brave. If you are on this path right now trying to break your family cycle, you're going to heal lives that you may never even meet, like your great grandkids. You probably will never meet them, but you're setting a foundation that they will enjoy, that they will build upon, which is very good. So kudos to you. Healing doesn't rewrite the past, but it absolutely reshapes the future. And if no one has told you this yet, you are allowed to grow beyond what you were taught. We're still on our healing series. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a comment down below and give us a thumbs up and share it to your friends. Until the next video, bye-bye.